Well, good morning, Jenny.
Good morning.
Michael, Adam, good morning. We're officially alive and awake. Adam's back from his extended vacation. Michael is, what's going on with Michael? Anything good? What's the best thing going on with Michael right now? Because Michael's got, wait, turn the camera on, Adam. Over there.
Oh, wait. Oh, wait, there isn't one.
Oh, that's right, he doesn't have one.
Should be closing escrow on my house next week.
Congratulations.
And passed my broker's license exam.
That is correct. That's what I was hoping to hear. So yes, Michael is now a full-on broker, soon to be a homeowner, and he's really rocking and rolling. So nice
once
job.
the DRE stamps off on it.
Once the DRE steps off on it. That's correct. Well, you're almost there. You're almost there. And Jenny, you went to the Rams game last night?
Yeah.
Yes. And what time did you get home?
10:45-ish.
And you're up and at 'em, ready to go this morning.
Up and at 'em.
Yes. And don't mind the giant monitor that she has. She forgot her power cord, so we had to hook up that. What do you call
My
that?
work computer. It's hysterical. We're very high tech here.
Yes, we are. That thing's. I wonder what year that is.
I don't
but
know.
anyways.
It's a big one.
All right. So I thought we'd just jump in. Good
All
morning,
right.
everybody. Let's see. Who do we got on today? We got all the regulars. Got Denise Hernandez. Got Lynn. Got Catherine Smith. Catherine, did you end up sitting that open house this weekend? Tell me about it. Hop on in. Let's hear it.
I did. I sat the open house this weekend. It was awesome. I had a great time. The house was beautiful. So that made it super easy, but we had a lot of traffic through and I probably picked up 4 really good leads and 2 that will probably be down the road, like after the first of the year.
Nice.
So I got a call from a West agent. They said they wanted to sit open house. I'm like, okay, who's a stud that would really do a great job? First call, Catherine. She picked up the phone and now potentially has 4 leads.
Woohoo!
That's what I'm talking about. Good job, Catherine. All right, so let's go. Now we got to remember, hopefully you followed up with them the afternoon yesterday, like all those leads the afternoon, and then if not, immediately the next morning. Like you have to be like absolutely urgent about getting back to those people as soon as you can, but I'm sure you know that. So don't wait till tomorrow. Don't wait till noon. As soon as this call's done, but you have to stick on this one first. Okay, so good job. Anybody else have anything great happen this weekend, business-wise or personal, that they want to share? Anybody? No?
Oh,
Great.
Corey's driving, but I think her first listing went into escrow.
Yes.
I think.
Is that true, Corey?
Well, I'm hoping that happens tomorrow. I have 3 solid offers on the table, and I'm actually driving to an appointment because I have 3 more appointments today.
Woo!
So let's hear.
Good.
Where did those appointments come from? The 3 that you have.
Let me think.
How did you generate?
I think they just
get in front of them.
Reaching out to me through MLS. I've just been posting and sharing everywhere I could. So there's been several different ways that they've been connecting with me. I've gotten like a Zillow and one. I forgot the website that it's called. But
Oh, good. So you're getting them from all over right now.
Yeah.
Good. You're at that stage right now where you're just getting past that hump. Now, how long have you been in the business?
This November, we'll be going on 6 months.
Okay, so she's just opening her first escrow. But for all you guys out on the call, this is how long it takes.
Yeah.
This is how it works. And now Corey's moving into her first escrow. She's got more buyers and sellers right behind it. And so her trough will fill, and now you are on your way. But for the newer agent, it is disheartening because people come in here, without, thinking they're going to get a paycheck in a month or 45 days or whatever, and it just takes time. And so for all those people out there in the world, if you're watching this and you're not in real estate and you think your real estate agents get paid too much money and blah, 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 we work our asses off. We're commission only. We are not, there's no one here that's going to take Corey and hand her, a check every week. She's got to go out there and bust her ass to make it happen. That's for all you guys out. That's why I love real estate people, because they are the independent contractor badasses. Go ahead.
Can I share something real quick? Before I got into this, a lot of people would tell me, oh, houses sell themselves in this market, and I said to myself, hell no, they don't. Houses do not review contracts. They do not take all these phone calls. They do not negotiate. They do not inspect anything. Like I'm really realizing, and this first listing is not the easiest. So it's given me some good experience and a lot of good learning. So.
Yes, for sure. So anyways, great job. Good. Anybody else have any victories that came about this weekend? Anything good? Anybody have anything that, this just turned out awesome? What? Anybody? Should I keep moving?
I have something.
Go ahead. What you got?
So I thought of last week's call about going up to people, even if you're scared. So we're at the tailgating thing, and somebody pops up, a Coldwell Banker pop-up. And I was like, So I went over. I was pretty proud of myself.
Nice. Who was it?
His Rich Hernandez. He is an owner, and he owns Omni out in Santa Ana, and it was super exciting. We're going to start connecting, and
Awesome.
It was great.
I love that,
So
and I know exactly who that is. So that's
yeah,
really
he
fun.
knew you, so
Cool.
it was fun.
Very cool, very cool. All right, so you guys ready to jump on into some really great material? So you saw what I posted. What Adam posted. It's the 10 ways to become a better salesperson.
Okay.
Is what it really is. Now you're going to hear some how to win friends and stuff like that in there, but
Okay.
I do want to wrap up what we were talking about last time first. And this is one thing about this business and about most sales businesses, and probably about, unless you're a CFO or an accountant or a lawyer or a doctor, the majority of people, education is not important. And what I mean is like having a master's degree is not going to help you in real estate. I can tell you right now, from personal knowledge, it does not help me. But it's really not important because it's about you, and it's about your discipline and your self-motivation, being able to take no for an answer, and not being afraid to be shameless and edgy with being out front. So when we say edge, I'm talking about kind of pushing the limits further than everybody else does, and believing what most people would say is impossible is possible, and that's a big one. Of course, don't be a know-it-all. But self-limiting behavior kind of stalls our progress and stuff like that. That's kind of the things we were talking about last time. But now I'm going to move into maximizing your people skills. I have read a million times, and I made my boys read a million times, How to Win Friends and Influence People, which still to this book, written in 1916, is probably the most powerful book ever written. Adam, any comments on How to Win Friends and Influence People?
Read it.
Right?
Read it. Changed my life.
It did. I mean, Adam used to be, like all of us, we used to view the world differently. And then once you read that book, you start to see that it's not about us. If you make it about other people, all of a sudden the whole world opens up. Would you agree that that's kind of the gist?
Yep.
So that being the case, life just kind of hinges on your ability to understand people, right? And your ability to work well with skills and habits of highly effective people. This is the big comment from the book. 85% of job success comes from having developed great people skills. 15% comes from the technical skills and knowledge. And I really believe that does apply to real estate. And Corey did say, and I think it's important, a house doesn't inspect itself, a house doesn't negotiate itself, a house doesn't deal with the problems, a house doesn't make sure that the loan gets funded, a house doesn't make sure that, all those sorts of things. So you do have to have that knowledge in real estate. However, being likable and understanding people and having the skills to persuade and all that stuff can be actually more important than the skills themselves.
100,000,000% agreed.
That's the gist. So here are the 10 ways to improve your sales, and they call them people skills, but I added sales skills.
Okay.
Of course, technology and systems are important, and they
Yes.
really are. But the number one goal is to develop your natural charm and innate people skills. Your natural charm and your innate people skills. That's number one. And how do we do that? Is to talk to others about what they want to hear. That's really what it is. Talk to others about what they want to hear, and of course, I'm adding this part, get them talking. Talk about things that serve your customers' goals, their interests, their ideas, their hobbies, their experiences, their aspirations. And all of a sudden, you've got a connection, right? First thing I came in, I asked, how was the Rams game last night? You're into the Rams game. Michael jumped in. Michael's talking about, Von Miller. Michael's talking about how, the game got thrown because the quarterback threw a couple interceptions. But those are things that we have a mutual interest that build
Right.
connections and bonds. You have
Right.
to find those with people, right?
Yes, sometimes you have to search a little harder.
He did not try to make a connection with me this morning. He immediately yelled at me when he walked in.
Well, you have to figure out what people respond to. And for Adam,
I'm a masochist.
Yeah, if you try to have a conversation with him, he's going to come up with something. You know what I mean? So anyways, so number one is talk to others about what they want to hear. And I was thinking about that. I don't know what show I was watching a long time ago, and it was talking about husbands. And they were going into these relationships, and like these relationships that were on the rocks and divorces and stuff, they would go into these relationships and they would give them therapy, and you would kind of walk through the therapy with them.
Okay.
And then you would come back a few months later, and you would watch them get their relationship lives back together. And one of them, the problem was that the husband was just never listening. He had selective hearing.
Shocking.
He
I'm
had
just
selective
shocked.
hearing. I know. Could you guys imagine a husband having selective hearing? And we hear things, but you just don't want to respond.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's not just husband. It may be a chromosome thing. I don't know.
Well, you women just talk too much.
You shut your mouth when you're talking to me, right? And I'm not even looking at you.
So that being the case, we have to. What if you talked about, hey, honey, you want a beer? I'll bet he'll hear that. Can I make you a whiskey? I'll bet he'll hear that. I bet there's just lots of different things that, you want me to turn on the game for you?
Would you like a pipe and slippers?
There you go. Now you're speaking
It's
Mr.
the
Waters'
same with
language.
our customers. We have to talk about things that are their goals, their interests, their ideas, their aspirations. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, so number 2, sales people skills, and I thought this was going to take a training course. I don't know, what do you think about that?
Like, what?
She said, invest in, it could be reading books or how to win friends or whatever, but invest in learning how to communicate more effectively.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Toastmasters?
Yeah, Toastmasters is a great one, right? And also
Yeah.
gives you confidence in how to speak in public, and it's a good
Michael
one.
and I have talked about this a lot, that we really should have more public speaking skills in our
It's
stuff.
very interesting.
No?
Investing in how to communicate more effectively. Toastmasters is big, and I know there's a couple
Yeah.
people right
Yeah.
now. Sonia gives a lot of credit. I think, is Sonia on the call?
Yeah, she is. And Sue. Didn't Sue?
Sonia, can you speak to Toastmasters? Because from what I remember, you were with Toastmasters for a couple of years, weren't you?
Oh, I was with Toastmasters probably for 7 or 8 years.
Wow.
I loved it. It was scary at first, and each time you got up to give your presentation, it would get a little easier. But what it does is it makes you aware of how you are communicating. And the one thing I see that hurts so many people is the filler words. And they really get you when you use the filler words. Like is horrendous. I had a coaching call the other day, and every other word was like, and it was hard to get the meaning of what she was really trying to tell me, because like everything I like was going like crazy, like she needed like, and it was you lose context. So Toastmasters is awesome. I would encourage anyone who wants to begin to look into public speaking to get into it. It really will take your presentations a lot farther.
Well, and I know Stephanie Inman did a small presentation at a school for what she does for a living recently. And those little experiences, too, will help you to be stronger out in front. When Duffy got up, he just did a huge one with a whole room full of people about 2 weeks ago, and he was fantastic. And I did not, and you're always looking for the ums and the uhs and the likes and the I, and all that stuff. So that is very true, Sonia. And she's called me out before. Back in the day, she used to say, you're saying like a lot or whatever.
Yeah.
True story. The most, and another thing that I thought about, Sonia, that can be a real help if you're, instead of saying like or oh when you are doing any form of public speaking, is just pause and be quiet at that moment. And one of the things that you can do is, instead of saying, like investing to learn, if you just wait and say investing to learn how to communicate more effectively. It's just easy to say, investing, like. So that's just something to think about. But
That's good.
The highest paid people on the planet are master communicators. And that is a fact. If you talk to really successful people, they're going to be clear, they're going to be concise, you're going to know where they're coming from, you're going to know what they want, you can know where they're headed, because they are master communicators. So we have to continue to learn to be better communicators, not just in public, but in our communications with each other. So learning to take control of challenging situations, using persuasion, and recognizing persuasive strategies is also something you can learn in training courses. Just a thought. If anybody has anything they'd like to add on communication or things they've learned about communicating along the way, because that is the key with, especially with real estate people, and I'm going to say this again, and I've said it before. If they like you, they will use you. They used somebody else. Well, good chance they liked them more than you.
Oh.
It's the truth. Or they promised you that, if you double end it, you're going to get the house. Use me. So there's always that. We can't compete with that.
That's true.
But in general, people like to use people they like. End of story.
True.
Number 3, show appreciation. Make it a habit of thanking people and making other people feel appreciated. Adam, I give you a lot of shit, right?
All the time.
Okay. You give it back, by the way. Do you feel like I appreciate you?
I do.
Michael, do you feel like I appreciate you?
100%.
Jenny?
Of course.
Okay, so, And I think that's what it's all about, is we have to let people know how much we appreciate them.
Do you feel we appreciate you?
Michael and you, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh. Yeah. Half the people on the call, no, I'm just kidding. But it's just important that we really make sure that we appreciate people, and not in a false way.
No.
I appreciate you, Jenny, because you are charismatic, you're fun, you lift up every environment. Adam is funny, he's talented, and he's just an all-around kick. You know what I mean? Michael is smart, he's funny, and he's got a lot of potential, and he's an organized dude. Like, you can find, and so I'm not asking you guys to go out there and appreciate people for things that are bullshit.
Right.
I'm asking you to go out there and thank people and feel what you're saying, because if you don't feel it, it's fake and phony. You shouldn't even be doing it.
And they're going to know.
Right. I mean, right, there's some filler words. Now I got Sonia on my mind. Filler words. Anyways, Sonia, let me go back to that with you. Sonia, do you feel like I appreciate you?
Sometimes I think you appreciate the challenges that I give you. Yes, absolutely.
What kind of cloaked answer is that?
I know.
Well, you heard that saying, compliments are currency, and I'm not in the business of accepting counterfeits.
That's actually very true.
Yeah.
Very true. So, and another, appreciating people will make you feel good. So, and it's really cool. When I was, just so you guys know, all of you guys out there, I went through and I read every single survey, top to bottom, every one of your guys' answers, and inside of those surveys, it showed who they appreciated in this company, how much they meant, and by you doing that, that's an opportunity for us to know and to give that back to them. But I did. I ran through every survey. We had a lot, by the way.
Yeah, we did.
Did everybody fill out a survey, by the way? I sure hope you guys did, because we're going to be using them tomorrow. So if you did not get a survey, I would really appreciate it. It's not too late.
I can email one to Catherine. Catherine, I'll email you
If you did not get a survey, can you please put in the chat right now to Jenny or Jennifer, because we really need to make sure that we get your feedback on what you enjoy, what you like, what things you feel are making you productive, what things you think we could be doing better. We're doing our best, and tomorrow is our leadership retreat, where we take the entire company in terms of our leadership team, 24 of us, heading out to spend 2 days on what we can do to help make you guys more productive. So that's tomorrow. So please, if you did not fill out the survey, hit up Jenny. What's your email, Jenny?
Mine is Jenny Waters at ColdwellBankerAB.com.
One more time.
Jenny Waters at ColdwellBankerAB.com.
Perfect. Okay, so good. So, but back to what we said, and so really all I'm fishing for is thank yous. So when you do send these out, no, I'm just kidding. But you will feel good by making other people feel good. And I can tell you that if you were to take, I've said this a million times, but it's so true. I'll bet you right now, if Kiana's on this call, or Isabel's on this call, or any of the front office on the call, they will tell you exactly who they love in this company, because those are the ones that say thank you and bring them a coffee from Starbucks once in a while, or a little candy, or a cupcake on their birthday, or something like that.
Just be kind.
If you appreciate people, do you know who appreciates you, Adam, and the people that make you feel unappreciated?
Absolutely.
Isn't that funny? Which one are you people? So the more genuinely you care, the easier it will be to make a good impression on people. So that's really what it is. Any comments on that? Anybody out there have any comments on that? If you do, feel free to jump in. This is not me preaching for an hour. So we should do that, Jenny. We should be a little bit more appreciative to people.
We should.
Should we give that a shot today?
Yep.
All right, just today.
Oh, I was going to say till the end of the year. Kind of like how it's Thanksgivings.
Okay.
We're going to be.
I'm in.
Okay.
I'm in. Done.
And it has to be true.
3 compliments a day, every day through the end of the year.
Okay.
You can email your compliments about me to me at adam@coldwellbankerab.com.
Yes,
It's
Adam.
the best place I can receive my compliments.
And if you want to say the opposite about him, send those to Chuck Whitehead at coldwellbankerab.com so that I may enjoy them. All right, so give genuine, sincere compliments. That's what we talked about. When you compliment someone about their trade, their skill, their accomplishment, it gives them a feeling of recognition and value. So we know Jenny's a great business development girl. She's fantastic. I mean, you've been in real estate for so long, you know what agents want, you know where we're headed, you're good. And I did notice this. This is a story, way off subject, that I have to share with you one time. Okay. So I was talking to one of the agents from another company a long time ago, and she was doing really good. And she was a really pretty agent. And I said, hey, you're really pretty. And she goes, can I just give you a piece of advice? And I said, sure. And she goes, don't ever tell me I'm pretty. She goes, tell me I'm smart. Tell me I'm accomplished. Tell me I've got all the shit that I need to kick ass. Don't tell me I'm pretty. That was a life lesson for me. That was like maybe 3 or 4 years ago. And I'm like, huh, isn't that interesting? Any comments on that?
Yeah, because it's something to, being smart, or one of our gifts that we have within is something you can't alter that. I mean, yes, you can work and cultivate that, but it's all lights and mirrors. This is all,
lights, mirrors, and makeup.
And makeup, smoke, everything.
Oh my
everything.
God.
So it does make us feel more valued. And I think that's also, it's an age thing, generational thing, where we are now learning how to tell not just women, but every gender that they are valued for what's on the inside.
I love it. Okay.
Chuck?
Yes, please.
There's another way you can look at the compliments. If you begin to, what is known in coaching is you elevate them. You tell them where their success is, and you recognize that success, and you just take them to another level of height of feeling good about who they are. And when you make people feel good about who they are, that draws that bond to you even more so. So you can think of it not just giving a compliment, but elevating somebody, taking them to another level, a higher level of success.
I love that. I love
Very
that.
good. That's cool.
My mom's husband, stepdad Larry, he's a drummer in a band.
Yeah.
And he told me that whenever you see a concert, no matter how big it is, no matter what it is, and all of a sudden the guitar player comes walking down off, I don't care if it's the friggin' Beatles, like whoever it may be, and when they come walking down off the stage, if you say, hey, you nailed it tonight, you did awesome, they're gonna be like, oh my God, thank you so much, da da da. And these are people that are like up here. So that really ties into what Sonia's saying is, by telling anybody, you have a really great voice, even if it's Eric Church, they're gonna be like, oh, thank you. Like it means a lot because even people that seem super confident need that. They need to hear once in a while that, you know what, Jenny, you're doing a good job.
Yeah.
You know,
you're
no matter what high level you are. So I love that. Elevate everyone.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it.
Super cool. Dig it.
All right. So the more, bottom line, the more we pay close attention to our customers, the more important they feel. Elevate them. I do like that. And even the small things that you say to them that are recognition of genuine, sincere compliments are going to build more of a trust. Now we're getting into kind of a new topic.
Okay.
And please, anyone, feel free to jump in. Number 5, act honorably and treat others with respect. And I will tell you that everyone gets opportunities put in front of them that can challenge their ethics. Every single person. Always do the right thing is the line, even when no one is watching. That's the hard part, because I think we're all inherently flawed. And we all get cocky and we all want more money and we all can make a tweak in a deal that may not be the best thing for the client. And you're really looking at your paycheck instead of them. And people will know that and they will find that out. And you will be, it's kind of like, I call it a karmic reward.
Yeah.
But by doing the right thing when no one's watching, even if you know a property's not best or you're going to let it fall because you know it's not good for that client, that's how you build a positive reputation. And your reputation cannot be purchased. It must be earned. Would you agree?
That's good, yes.
Your reputation cannot be purchased. It must be earned. And by being honorable, treating others with respect, doing the right thing when no one's watching. And hey, I can say this, we're all going to make mistakes. Everybody on this call has done some stupid shit, made immoral decisions that like you wish you wouldn't have done, or maybe you didn't mean to, but you did it. And, but just remember that your reputation is earned, not purchased. And of course, the golden rule of business, nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care, right? Everybody knows that. Nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. And to me, that's everything. And that goes for every agent on this call. And if there's ever a moment that you don't feel that like Margaret and I and Tom and Jenny and everybody in this company are not caring more about you than anything else, then find another company. I mean that. If you don't feel that way, don't you think? And I think that's what we're all looking for, is somebody, a real estate agent that'll care more about me than the other one. So that's number 5. Any of you have anybody comments on that? Okay. I'm really preaching today, aren't I?
It's fine.
It's okay. All right, you're used to it?
Yeah.
You just sit there, I just preach? All right. Number 6.
Okay.
Identify your personal core values. So, and when I say that, I thought it was interesting when I was reading it, because who's Jenny? Who are you?
Who am I?
Clarify and highlight what you stand for. And what do you stand for? And it's funny because that's kind of what social media is. Social media shows what you are. If we were to go back, somebody was telling me the other day, like when they were looking at their social media, They're like, well, I like this interest. I have this interest. This is what I do for a living. This is this. This is my kids. This is this. This is that. And I'm like, so that is the roundabout of who they are. So clarify and highlight what you stand for. And now we're getting into the good stuff. Your core values represent your uniqueness and personal style. We're all unique. Mike Duffy is completely and utterly different than Joanna Dorbel.
Right.
Completely different than Catherine Smith. Completely different than Michael Wysocki. But Michael has a different set of has a different uniqueness and set of core values. His behavior, his code of conduct, everything about him is going to be different than the other people. So the example that she gives is, if your core values are to offer ultimate quality customer service. So let's just put ourselves in your point of view or my point of view.
Okay.
If my ultimate value is to offer high quality customer service, yet the agents don't show customers the respect they deserve, that's the problem, because that agent is working outside of my core business values.
Oh.
And so that goes with your title reps, that goes with especially your lenders. So if you're working with great people like Sherry and Casey and Kim and all that stuff, you know that they have the same kind of honor code that you do. And your escrow girls have the same honor code that you do, and your marketing person and your broker and all of that. So you have to empower your team with your values and have the expectations that this is my team that's going to help me build my real estate career, and they all represent you.
Can I share something really fast?
Yeah.
Okay, so Jen and I have been here, we're on almost 9 years. When we came here, we were kind of feeling stressed, because we're like, oh my God, who's going to be our escrow? Who's going to be our lenders and all that? And then Brett Murray, actually, I see him, he's on the call. I saw when I came over here, I'm like, oh my God, Brett's with that team. That's awesome. So, because he and I had already done a deal together. Then we learned it was LaRue, and like, oh, thank God, because we'd done deals with LaRue. So it was a very great thing to know that our new team was going to be amazing as well. So
that's awesome. And that just goes to show that your team represents you out in the world too.
Yes.
So we all represent each other.
We do, all of us.
And that's why I think one of the things with our company is we have a high level of expectations that our agents handle things in professional ways, and that the lenders do. And the minute we find out that somebody doesn't, they're out. And there are companies made up of a bunch of people that do not have the same honor code that we do. I can tell you right now.
Yeah.
I can name about 3 of them.
Yeah.
And they can have those agents.
Yeah. Bye.
You know who I'm talking about, Michael? Yeah. So anyways, all right, I'm getting all worked up. All right, here we go. Number 7. And this ties into it. Commit to good business ethics. Right. So last one we talked about identifying your core values. Now commit to your business ethics. So we know there's unethical people out there. Have you done deals with agents that you could almost rattle their name off right now on how unethical they are?
Yeah, I try to block them out, but yes, absolutely.
And you all will, unfortunately, and it's usually commission breath. And the funny part about what those people don't realize is that good ethics makes good business sense. If you screw somebody over in a deal, you're never going to get another lead from them, and I guarantee there's a chance they're going to tell someone else, and it's going to cost you business down the road. Success comes easily to those who act with honesty and integrity all the time. That's bottom line. And if you treat everyone fairly, just be aware and watch out that if you don't, karma will come back and get you. But if you do, karma will come get you.
Yeah.
So it's good,
If you never fib, you never have to worry about what you have to remember. You always remember the truth because you never lied about anything.
That's correct. That's correct. Oh, yeah. That's what Nora Street used to say.
Oh,
I remember I heard her telling somebody, geez, probably 20 years ago when I first got in the business, she said to an agent, she goes, always tell the truth. It's much easier to remember.
That's so true.
And I was like, oh, that's a good line.
Totally. Disclose, disclose, disclose.
Right, right. So, and of course, number 8 is to remain true to your authentic self. And that ties back into your uniqueness and why Michael is the way Michael is and Adam's the way Adam is. Remain true to your authentic self. I think that's everything, because if people don't like who you really are, hey, we're sitting here talking for an hour, so I think they're pretty much going to have a pretty good idea of who we are. I mean,
I know.
That's who we are.
Just want to hide
those of you
sometimes.
guys that are out there talking, when Duffy's chiming in and when all these people are chiming in, you're dumping out, showing your soul, who you are.
And what you said really who we are is on Facebook or whatever. Truly who we are is on our stories. It's not our post. Truly who we are is our stories, because those are going to disappear.
That's what you do, yeah.
Just on that.
That's funny, that's funny. So given the fact that remaining true to your authentic self, helping to sincerely connect with others, like getting yourself connected to others is important, and the way to connect is by being me. If you don't like me, you don't like me. We're not going to connect.
Right, and that's going to be okay. That's okay.
And that is okay, and it's really hard when people don't like you.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I remember I went to the surveys 3 years ago.
Yeah.
3 years ago, and somebody said that I was a pompous, pretentious prick.
Yeah, sorry, I was having a rough day.
Not you. I was having a rough. And I was like, a pompous, pretentious prick. I'm like, okay. Hey, what's that? Did somebody say something?
I think it was an accident.
Oh. And I was like, okay, so that guy most likely is not going to be my friend.
Tom, and I was going to say I think it was Tom, but Tom said only one person said that.
Did he really?
Yeah, he did.
Tom Wysocki said that?
Yeah.
He knows we're leaving for leadership tomorrow, right? And I have a mic. Okay. So that person I probably didn't connect with, but I did go out to lunch, and now we're really, really good buddies.
Aww.
But I could see how people could think that, and that's fine.
Sure.
So talking about remaining true to your authentic self, don't pretend to be someone you're not. A lot of people say fake it to make it, which is really cool. Fake the knowledge to make it, but don't fake you.
Yeah.
Be you. If they don't like you, you don't want to work with them anyway.
No, you don't. You do not.
Right, and I think we're all kind of looking for that. So just be you. And my favorite people are the people that are you, and you're like, could you imagine this guy in that situation? You know, like I'm just saying that like just off to the side, and you're going to go like, yeah, because I know him, and in that situation, that's going to be hilarious because his authentic self is not going to like that.
Yeah.
You know, so don't pretend to be someone you're not. Don't manipulate your personality to seek approval or disapproval. Just be you, and that really is going to tie into confidence later. That we're going to talk
you're
about.
right.
So
You're right.
And then it's about being true to your heart and your destiny and embracing your uniqueness, sharing your gifts. And the big one is just being present in the moment at that time, being you. So I like that one. That's just kind of like a lesson I've learned in my life over the last year too, is enjoy the moment, be you. It's all going to work okay. Anybody have anything they want to add on this? You're welcome to join in, guys. I feel like I'm really a Mr. Preacher today. Number 9, build confidence to make stronger connections. And this is really big. Do you believe that there's a good chunk of real estate agents that fail because they're not truly confident in themselves?
Yes.
Don't you think most?
Yes.
I think number 1 is that they're not truly confident in themselves. Number 2, they're not doing the action items, which is what I think we're really big about. Go ahead.
But that's totally it, because or they're doing the action items, but they're not doing it authentically. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been a morning. But if you're true to who you are, and what you post is true to who you are, then you're going to get the people who really like you and resonate with you, and then you're going to be fine.
And I wish I could get this next point across stronger because
Okay.
I think it's life-changing.
Okay.
So, okay, not everyone is confident. A lot of people even on this call right now know, like, you know, if we really were to ask you, like, here's a big question. Do you like the way you look? If the answer is no, you're lacking confidence. Are you smart? If you don't think you're smart, you're lacking confidence. Are you good at talking to other people? If you're not, you're lacking confidence. Are you good getting up in front of other people and talking about what you do? If not, so there's so many things, and I lack confidence in certain areas. We all do, you know. So confidence, but confidence does show in your mannerisms, in your appearance, and most importantly, in the way we walk, talk, and listen to people. That's really where it is. Now, so I thought, okay, this is really great, but how do you build confidence? How
Yes.
if I am not a confident person, how can I become more confident and do it right? And it really comes down to you have to respect and accept yourself as you are right now. As you are right now. This is what she's saying in the book, but
It's true. Yeah.
you have to accept your flaws without inner conflict. So, oh, I've lost my hair. I don't feel good about the way I look. I have gained 30 pounds. I don't feel good about the way I look. I, I lost a tooth because something happened, and I'm going. I know it sounds really crazy,
No,
but
I'm like, what's happening? Are you in my head right now? What's going on?
you know what I'm saying, though,
No,
right?
I get it. No, and
We can
I
all
know
find
how to
things.
flip it. I know what you're gonna say.
I have wrinkles. I have a gap in my teeth. I mean, it's a gap in my teeth. It could be anything that knocks
Right.
people's confidence out. So you have to accept those flaws and realize it's me.
It's just me.
You know,
and it's who you are.
and whatever, and own it. And
Yeah.
that's how I think we can become confident. And confident people talk assertively because, and all of you guys are smart on this call.
Yes.
Every
Otherwise,
one of you
you
smart.
wouldn't be able to pass.
We have plenty to talk about. Especially just if you took some of the stuff from these calls, what you're learning in the training classes, what you've learned from your kids. Talk assertively, strike an assured pose. Don't be like this. And I know people like
No,
this.
that's Superman. Do the Superman.
You know, own it.
Oh,
Just
own it.
talk assertively, strike an assured pose, and use a certain tone of voice. I remember somebody used to tell me, like, I could tell a complete lie and they might believe it because I'm so convincing because my voice is so assertive occasionally. I thought that's scary, but it can be true.
It's true.
Really, if you really look, the sky is green. I'm telling you guys, wait a minute. Take a look. The eye is in the beholder. If you look up, that sky is green. But it's just in the way you talk.
Let's not forget that Chuck is colorblind too.
Well, it looks gray all the time. No, that's negative. Strike an unassured pose, use a certain tone of voice, make sure, and you know if you are assertive, if you have the right pose and use a certain tone of voice, it makes you tough in business, but still friendly and approachable. Like I would say, Jenny, you know at certain things when I say like, this is the way it has to be. You know, I mean, I'm not trying to be a dickhead, but you know that I'm doing it because I think this is best, and you have a little faith in that. You might disagree with me, and that's okay. But you have to be strong enough to be assertive in a way that you can still be tough in business and good. You know, like, no, I'm not going to do that 4% listing. I'm worth 5%.
Right.
And you know what? Everybody else is taking 4, but you think somebody's going to drive out from Orange County and show property for the 2% you're offering versus the 2.5% you're offering?
Yeah.
That's being assertive and confident and knowing that I know what I'm talking about.
Right.
You know, but still be friendly and approachable, of course. So Sonia, do you have anything that you want to talk about from your peeps?
I bet I know what she's
I
going to say.
do.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
What I wanted to say is confidence. When you join real estate, there's so much there that you don't understand, and your confidence is at a lower level. But through constant learning and understanding and working with mentors, your confidence gets stronger, and then you get more assertive, you may say, or more confident in how you present yourself as the professional real estate agent. I look at a lot of times when I see people with a lot of lack of confidence in their work, especially, it's usually because of lack of knowledge and they haven't had the growth period. So give yourself a break in that respect. It takes growth to get over those challenges. And once you're over them, you look back at them and go, wow, that was easy. Where's my next growth? And the more you grow, the stronger you become, and you're feeling better. You look at our agents who have been in the business for years, our Mary Dimlers and everything. They know exactly what to say, what to do. And it's through the years of experience of working, so their confidence is strong. Those of you who are brand new in real estate, you don't have that confidence yet. So give yourself a little bit of credit that you're just going through a growing period and you're going to be coming out on the other side much stronger.
True. You know, and I was talking to Michelle Carnley when she first started, and she was telling me that about 4 years ago, things were rough. Right? She was rough. I mean, I'm not going to ask her to talk about it, but she was saying things were rough and where I was in my life. And then she started building her business. And now she's at the point where she could pretty much talk about anything. She could talk about farming. She could talk about contracts. She's up here. And I think that's the same with some of the other agents that are on the call. You know, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I mean, do you remember even Corey Bryant was kind of like this, but she's got an escrow going and she's starting to become like this. And like, did you see it in the car? She's got the cool glasses. She got the outfit. Got some appointments. It all starts with that one deal and picking up that knowledge, like Sonia was saying, along the way, so that if I am up here, like if I'm up front and somebody asks me a question about real estate, something about, well, what happens with a loan? What does an inspection mean? What is this? I can pretty much answer any question. That's going to make me very confident versus the person that's been in 6 months.
Yeah.
And they ask you, can you tell me about what the debt ratio income requirement is on an FHA loan? What's the debt ratio that you need? They can't answer that question. So, but it's really easy to say, that's a really good question. I haven't been asked that question. I can't believe it. Let me check on that for you. I'm going to get right back to you. But I did want to tell you this. I know they're qualified because I know we've worked with the lender, or the lender is somebody that we work with.
Exactly. Your team.
But building it up too.
Yeah, totally.
And same with your lenders. Your lenders are trainers. The other agents are trainers. Like, I like it. Like you said, learn everything you can, because the next thing you know, you're going to be at that 6-month mark, hitting your first deal, or the year mark, starting to get 2-3 deals, or hitting into year 3 when you're doing 10 to 12 deals or more. So thank you for that, Sonia. I agree. Anybody else have anything they want to discuss on confidence? Who else do we got on this call? And remember, if your microphone is on, that's cool. Sorry, if your camera is on, that's very helpful. Tom, You've seen people progress, newer agents into top producers. You've seen medium producers become high-level producers. Do you see any connections to confidence in that? You've mentored a lot of people, dude.
Absolutely, Chuck. The big thing is if they learn the contract. Number one, because that gives them confidence. They're like, hey, I'm ready to go. That's the big one. If they don't know the contract, they go to open houses and they're praying that nobody comes in, or they're sitting on the floor. They don't want anybody to come in because they don't know how to write a contract.
Well, and the cool part about a contract is if you do know the contract, you know all the steps involved with a real estate transaction, because it shows right in that contract, here's my inspection period, here's my deposit I have to show within 5 days, here's how much I'm putting down, here's the type of loan they're getting, here is what I'm asking for it. So I agree, I like that, Tom. If you can be an expert at the contract alone, then you know all the expectations and the stages that are going to be involved in a real estate transaction. It's probably on the listing side. A listing contract is the same things. It's got obligations laid out and requirements and all those sorts of things. So, but I don't like when people get super bogged down in the paperwork. I'd rather them get an escrow in or work with a buyer and then go jump in and talk to Tom or Teresa and walk through it at that same time. Like, don't be that person that's so obsessed with the contract that you don't show property or you're scared in the open house like Tom said. But yeah, and then by knowing the contract, it will build your confidence. I think you're right, Tommy.
Hey, Chuck, on that, I heard Mike Ferry say one time, don't wait until you have all your ducks in a row, because all you're going to end up with is a row of ducks.
Yeah, that's true.
True
That's
story.
good.
Yeah.
True
Chuck,
story. Yes.
I see Denise on here, and I've seen her confidence grow tremendously in the last couple of years. I don't know if she'd like to say something, but definitely her confidence in real estate and her capabilities has really taken on a new level. So I just wanted to shout out to her if she'd like to say something.
I want to add something. So I called Denise on, when did I call you? On Thursday, Denise, I think, Thursday afternoon. Because I was driving down, I don't know if it was Portsmouth or what street it was over in Senior Sun City, and I passed 3 of her listing signs.
Yeah, girl.
All on the same street. And I said, what the heck is going on here? Like, how are you doing this? And she said, my farming.
Yeah.
And you could hear it in her voice. She's getting for real now. I mean, any comments on that, Denise? I mean, from where you started and where you are now and kind of getting along that process, was there confidence involved? Like, what sorts of things got you to where now you have 3 listings on the same street?
You know, it's doing all the steps. I started with the Ninja, the mentorship with Tom, learning the contracts, understanding when I talk to especially a new buyer, explaining what they need to do. And as you start feeling a little more confident and you get those deals down, and the consistency on my farm, well, it's showing now.
It sure is. It sure is.
And she shows up. That's the other thing. She shows up for our coaching calls, our coaching meetings with Courtney. She shows up at the meetings. She shows up at the gatherings. She's here. She's constantly
She's on every call,
learning.
too.
Yeah, she's on the calls. You got to give yourself more credit, Denise. You're showing up.
Yep. So great job. I also, I see somebody on the call that I'd love to pick on a little bit, and not pick on, but kind of get some advice from. Brett Murray. When I first started in the business, Brett and I started like 20-something years ago. Brett was already a super stud lender. Like he was, I think he was working in Corona at the time, Brett, and he's had some just amazing years of working with amazing top producers and newbies and stuff all along the way. What do you see, Brett, that is kind of the recipe of the super stud agent versus the ones that you've seen come and go? Because I know for a fact you've seen a million people come and go. But what do you think, Brett, is like the recipe or the secret sauce to becoming a top producer? I know you've worked with a million of them and you still do today.
I've slowed down a little bit over the last 24 years when we first met, and you were a young stud just getting started. I remember you and John Horton fighting in the bus on the way to Laughlin.
We were drunk.
So I've essentially watched some of the agents grow up, and become superstars in Coldwell Banker. I've seen some fizzle out. In other words, they burn out. It's not easy to come to work every day like you were mentioning Denise does. Many of us go in spurts. We're good for a month, we're good for 3 months or 6 months, but it's hard to sustain every day. And I think that the training that you guys put on feels like every day now since the pandemic is extremely helpful to get somebody started, because typically in real estate and in the lending business for that matter, because I've trained a lot of loan officers, I've trained loan officers that have all the knowledge they need to make that first sale, and they won't get out of the car and go inside the office. They freeze up and they're sitting in the parking lot in front of the Coldwell Banker office, and they won't get out and go inside because they're afraid they'll be asked a question that they don't know. And so you guys have touched on work habits, which are probably the number one most important. Confidence, which is don't be afraid you'll get asked a question you can't answer. I mean, we go back to what Jenny said about teamwork. When you have a lender and an escrow company and a title rep that you can call, there is no question that'll stump you. So don't be afraid you'll be asked a question you can't answer. The typical, the best response is, that's a great question. I haven't been asked that in a while. Let me talk to my title rep or my escrow officer or my loan officer. I'll get them on the phone right now. We'll get an answer right now.
That's awesome.
And so the biggest thing that I see with Coldwell Banker Associated Brokers Realty is that sense of teamwork, that you have affiliated reps that are available to you 7 days a week to help you. That's atypical to our industry. That doesn't happen with a lot of other companies. There's plenty of lenders that don't answer the phone after 5 o'clock or on weekends. There's plenty of escrow officers that shut down at 5 o'clock. Ours typically work till 6, 6:30, 7 o'clock. I've been in this business since 1976.
Wow.
I know, I'm getting pretty old. And it's hard to sustain the energy necessary to do your job every day. You know, and some of us don't want to work that hard anymore. It is a job, but you have to love your job. And the more successful you are, it seems like the more you love your job.
That's true.
And then at some point it comes to sharing with others. And I think Chuck is full on right now in sharing with others what he's learned over the last 24, 25 years that I've known him. He's sharing that on a daily basis, which is making us all more successful. It's kind of a pleasure to watch. I really enjoy it.
Thanks, Brett. Thanks. You know, and I was thinking, Brett, and this is something that makes me nervous, Jenny, and it makes me scared. I know sometimes new agents will get in the business and they have a friend or somebody that they know that's a lender or in the mortgage business or some form of the mortgage business or whatever, and they don't get the opportunity to work with somebody like Brett, you know, or somebody like some of the people that we have, because the reason that we only have 5 lenders at Inland Valley Home Loans is because we don't want to take at Point Mortgage, is that we don't want to take the chance on people that aren't super studs and going to build great agents.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So yes, Brett is in the mortgage industry, but that guy's seen every effing thing that can come down the pipe on a real estate deal.
Right.
So if you have, so don't go out there and build relationships with somebody that you don't have the luxury when you're newer in the business to put your faith in somebody that you don't know.
Right.
Using somebody like Brett or Kim or Sherry, or you're going to win and they're going to help you, and they also know where all of these deals came from. So, but yes, but back to what we were saying, Brett, and I agree. He was basically saying that you do have to love the business, and if you love the business, the success comes, and the more that success comes, the more you love the business.
True.
I like that.
That's so true, man.
So that being the case, back to what we were saying, really, you have to try to build your confidence, though, by being you, and it takes time. And you can talk to Jennifer Murphy, because one of the things I've seen from Jennifer is Jennifer was always a $250,000 agent. And then about 2 years ago, I believe there was an attitude shift and a shift to coaching, by the way, too. And then now I no longer consider her a $250,000 agent. She is a $400,000 agent. So even though we plateau out with the right confidence, with the right boost to the next level, with someone in your ear, making sure you're staying on track, with good lenders, with good escrow people, the sky is the limit here, and that's why we're in real estate.
Right.
But it all comes down to you continually learning. You are the cog in the machine that drives the fact so that Brett can have deals, and but he'll help you as much as he can, and that escrow can have deals, and that you and I can see transactions coming into the offices and all that sort of thing. So, but it really comes down to you and your ability to learn and build yourself a powerful team, which will in turn give you the confidence you need to continue to grow and kick ass.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You got something?
No,
Okay.
no, I'm digging it.
All right. So thank you for that, Brett. Much appreciated. Thank you for having your camera on. Number 10, tackle problems with a positive mental attitude. This is the last one.
Okay.
Tackle problems with a positive mental attitude. We joke about it. We talk about it. It's in every book. But you have to look at every problem as a situation, as a project, as an opportunity. And if you look at them in that way, the positive thinking kind of builds strength and overcomes your weaknesses. And just remember this, and I believe this, and not everybody actually aspires or this, and everybody's got different goals in life. So your goal may be the best mom, the best dad, the best preacher, the best deacon at your church, you know, the best little league coach, whatever. So this isn't all about money. Of course, it's nice, but remember that we were all born to be great.
Yes.
It's up to you to decide if you want to be great. Your definition of great, which we keep talking about, what is your definition of great? And you can handle it. And you can take on anything. We've all taken some beatings in our life, but when you take those beatings, you got to look at it like, okay, life lesson, positive life lesson. What can I do to make this better? And I'm going to attack this with a good attitude. I'm going to look for the best in it. And you know those people that look for the best in the opportunities and the smiles and affect things positively as before just a negative, oh my God, the sky's falling, blah, 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 blah. So that was number 10.
All right.
All right. So anything you want to add, Adam? You're awfully quiet. You can tell Adam's totally checked out on this because I'm talking about positive thinking right now.
Oh,
But
not that his posture would say anything about that.
yeah, I wish you guys could see him. He's got his belly hanging out of his shirt. He's slumped back in his chair. He's bored as can be right now. Anything you want to add?
Not.
Look how bored you are.
It's good to be truly appreciated by you, Chuck. Thank you.
Okay, that was point number 3. See? There you go. So success is easy. Creating more positive vibes. That's the next little section. We got 3 little sections, and then we're done.
Okay.
All right. So if we know that staying positive allows you to pay more attention to the goodness of the things that are going on around you, and helps you a little bit more focus on those positive things, we know that negative people are constantly complaining about how the world is unfair.
Yes.
Who was I talking to? I was talking to somebody last night, and they were talking about having to get rid of a very important person in their life because they just finally noticed from these calls and stuff that that person says that the world is unfair, this is bullshit, this happened to me, that happened to me. And they said that it's been consistently happening constantly with that person and that they had to just completely kick them out of their life because of where they want to go in their life.
Right. You can't have that. You can't.
I mean, if you were negative or if I was negative, we wouldn't both be able to work with each other.
No.
You know, all these people on the call are all positive. You don't
Yeah.
even hear anybody jumping in saying, wait a minute.
No.
What about, you know?
No, I agree.
So be aware of those negative people. A positive attitude truly, though, is also like a magnet for success. If you're positive and you're happy and you're looking for stuff, like if I said this, I'm going to say this right now.
Okay.
Something really good is going to happen today. Do you agree?
Oh, yeah.
Something that we're going to be like, hey, Jenny, remember when I said that? There it is.
Yeah, I swear, if everyone just says that, I swear it happens.
Something good's going to happen for you
Something
today.
good.
And, you know, I mean, nothing ever good comes out of a knee-jerk reaction, by the way. So if you see something, you can be like, oh, my God. Rethink about it and go, wait a minute, maybe that's a positive, not a negative. You know? And of course, you kind of have to allow a situation to settle into. So if you see something that looks bad and you want to knee-jerk react or say something stupid or get in a fight, like somebody asked me, I had something gnarly happen yesterday, and I was talking to them, they're like, well, what do you think about that? And I said, you know what, honestly, I'm not prepared to answer that question until it marinates in my head a little bit.
I need to do that. That's good.
Because I knee-jerk react and I say stupid shit, and next thing you know, I'm in a fight or I'm in a problem or I did something dumb. But if you just step back and say, I'm just going to allow that to settle in for a little bit, and then once it's a little bit stabilized, then we'll address it and figure out what's going on. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So that's one of the ways to create positive vibes is when something harsh comes in, lay back, let me marinate on it. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Does that seem reasonable?
Oh, totally.
Okay.
Totally.
All right, so what else we got? Success is easy. Okay, so this was cool, and I believe this. It says true success begins by giving back. And we've talked about it before, but I don't believe that means that like I got to give $20 to the pet shelter. That's not what I'm talking about. Successful people care about supporting others rather than manipulating them, and kind of they give of themselves more to that person to say like, I'm willing to share my secrets with you. Like, oh, you're thinking about buying a rental? Let's sit down and talk about it. Like, what's in that for me? Nothing other than wanting to see you do well, right? So giving doesn't have to have a return.
Right.
Right. And you know, so if somebody calls me from, like I had an agent call me from Seattle. She works up at Danforth to ask me some questions. There's no benefit in me talking to her. But I do know that if I put out good vibes and if I support that person, somehow the karmic gods are going to come back and say, you're a good dude.
They do.
It's going to be okay.
They do.
So we have to be careful of giving with the secret expectation of giving something back.
True.
And a real positive attitude and real success comes from focusing on others first. And we do know that, right? Mm-hmm. Don't you agree that, I mean, when you're doing an interview, you're not talking about you. You're talking about them and where they want to go. Mm-hmm. Right?
I hope.
Well, I think you are. I don't know. How's Jenny's interviews? Let's talk about Jenny's interviews, by the way. Any of you guys that have been through it, how can she make them better? What's she doing? Does she talk about herself?
Put that on the thing, on the whatever those things are. Survey. Put them on the survey.
Yeah, and please, I'm going to ask one more time. If you didn't fill out the survey, could you please email
me,
jennywaters@coldwellbankerab.com, and then you can email it back to your secretary or whatever. They're supposed to be anonymous.
Yeah.
So, or
Fax
Jenny, do you promise that you won't say their names?
Put me on, Adam. Adam, I promise I will not tell who it is. I swear. And you can put bad stuff about me because I truly believe it won't be bad. We all need to grow and change. So I promise if you email it back to me, I will never tell.
Okay, good. So it does, by the way, and this is something I thought was interesting, and I don't know what you think about this, but have you noticed all the billionaires that at the end of their lives start to give back?
Yeah, yes.
Why is that? Why do they wait till the end of their lives?
Well, they're scared to be poor again.
It's like they generally do it after they've achieved a crazy high level of success,
Yeah.
and then they create the Gates Foundation, and then they create the Buffett Foundation, and then they do this or they do that. It's just funny that they realize that that's what it's all about. But during the run, they were just all about money, 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 me, and then they realized it's about giving back. And we should be giving
changing now.
a little bit all the time, and it doesn't have to be money.
Yeah,
Help people on their journeys, guys. Help them on their journeys. There's many people in this competitive kind of dog-eat-dog world that are only concerned about themselves. And it's funny, too, because when I say that, and I don't know if you do, Jenny, but people that are competitive in a dog-eat-dog world that are only concerned about themselves, and those are generally people that we don't care much for. And I can think of a couple right now that we had in this company that were just not a fit for us. Do you know who I'm talking about, Michael? Can you think of a few when I say that? Dog-eat-dog competitive that are all about themselves and not about anyone else. I think there's a lot of them. And again, money and professional success is the foundation, but it all begins with giving back. And the more you give back, the more money. So anyways, bottom line, the more you share your success, the more it will return. And now I'm going to give the top 5 really quick. I got to go fast because we only got 2 minutes left. The 5 things from this chapter that we got to remember. Number 1, we all have to develop a great skill set. And you can have the recipe, but it's all about you. You have to be a good cook. You have to learn to become a better chef. You have to grow to become a better chef. All the ingredients are here. You're on the calls. You're with the Masteries. You're going to Vicky's trainings. You're with Tom's mentor program. You've got a great managers in Courtney. But it's up to you to continue to learn. And then you can become a good chef. Number 2, push the limits. Anything's possible. But you have to have an edge. Be out front.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 3, develop good people skills. Remember that people skills are 85% of the equation of your success. Your skills are 15.
Okay.
Got to have good people skills.
Okay.
Support others by giving back and sharing the knowledge. Get that karmic return. And number 5, take responsibility for success by having confidence. Show it in your mannerisms. Show it in your appearance. Walk the walk. Talk it. Listen. Be authentic. Be you. Don't worry about your flaws. Make them something that's cool.
Yeah.
So to become more confident, you have to respect and accept yourself.
Yeah.
As you are right now. And you're all unique. So own your flaws and without any inner conflict. And this will help you build confidence. So
love it.
Next week, we're talking about creating a strong marketing foundation. It's called Marketing is Fishing, creating brand consistency, developing a solid brand promise, marketing from a clear point of view, and much, much more. So next week's going to be all about marketing.
Okay.
But anyways, that was it on the 10 keys to sales skills.
Love it.
Adam, take us out.
Thank you, everyone, for being here. We loved having you here. Feel free to like, share, and comment on the Facebook post. It helps our algorithm, and we would really appreciate it.
Wednesday, Prospecting Mastery will be canceled this week. It's not canceled, but we won't be having it because of our leadership retreat.
Yes.
We're all going to be gone. So just so you know, there will be no prospecting. So instead, send out 100 texts on Wednesday morning, just telling people that you miss them, hope everything is going good with them, and I guarantee results.
Yeah, I love that.
Thank you, Jenny.
Thanks,
boys. Bye, y'all. Have a great week.
Bye.
We'll see you soon. 10 o'clock. Get out there. Do it.